If you've been sending the same resume to 50 different jobs lately and hearing absolutely nothing back, I want you to stop for a second. Just put the laptop down. I know how it feels. That hollow silence on the other end of an application is more than just frustrating. It's exhausting. You've done everything right, you've polished every keyword. You've used the best AI tools to make your profile look perfect on paper. But here's the hard truth I've seen from the other side of the desk. That perfect profile is exactly why you're being ignored. Let's look at the reality of the 2026 market. 83% of all resumes are now filtered by AI before a human being ever sees them. 83%. Think about that. We've entered an era where machines are talking to machines. You use AI to write the resume, and the company uses AI to read it. And in that loop, the human signal, the thing that actually makes you a great hire, gets completely lost. I was talking to a recruiter friend of mine last week, and she told me something that really stuck. She said 76% of hiring managers now feel that AI-generated resumes make it harder to tell who is actually competent and who just knows how to prompt a chatbot. So, while you're working harder to fit the algorithm, you're actually becoming more invisible to the people who matter. You're playing a game where the rules changed, but nobody sent you the memo. If playing by the old rules is making you a ghost in the system, we need to find the hidden logic that the top 1% are using to break through. Because there is a group of people getting noticed. And it's not because their resumes are more perfect, it's because they're doing something fundamentally different. Let's talk about what that actually is. We're currently living in what I call an era of logic surplus. It's a strange moment in history. For the last 15 years, the most valuable thing you could offer was technical logic, the ability to execute complex tasks perfectly. But in 2026, logic has become a commodity. It's like electricity, it's everywhere, and it's cheap. 99% of talent acquisition teams are now using AI to automate their workflows. They have all the logic they need. Here's the twist, because logic is everywhere. It's no longer the thing people are willing to pay a premium for. What corporations are actually terrified of right now isn't a lack of productivity. They're terrified of the 1% error. AI can do the task perfectly, 99% of the time, but that remaining 1%. That's where the hallucinations happen. That's where a mistake can cost a company millions of dollars in a single afternoon. Let that sit for a second. The value has shifted from doing the work to guaranteeing the work. This is why 93% of hiring managers now say they prioritize what they call un-AIable signals. They're looking for authenticity. They're looking for high-stakes judgment. They're looking for the person who can look at a perfect AI output and say, wait, something's wrong here. Skills in this market are changing 66% faster than they were just a few years ago. If you're still trying to compete on how many tasks you can check off a list, you're fighting a losing battle against a machine that doesn't sleep. The people winning right now are the ones who have realized that the scarcest resource in the world today isn't intelligence, it's reliability. It's the human in the loop. So if the game has shifted from execution to validation, who are the people actually getting those $400,000 checks? It's not the executors, it's the oracles. Here's where it gets really interesting. I'm seeing a massive shift in how the highest earners are positioning themselves. They aren't just learning AI or adding AI proficient to their LinkedIn bios. That's what everyone else is doing. Instead, they're pivoting from standard task management to high-stakes risk mitigation and governance. I've watched colleagues transition from traditional legal or compliance roles into AI ethics and governance, and the salary jumps are staggering. We're talking about positions reaching $210,000 in sectors like finance and healthcare. Even the average salary for a general AI governance role is sitting around $54,000 right now. Why? Because these companies have realized that they've built these massive automated engines, but they don't have anyone who truly knows how to drive them safely. They've moved from an execution model to an anomaly auditing model. They don't need more people to generate content or code. They need people who can validate it, secure it, and take responsibility for it. Think about the difference between a pilot and an engineer. For a long time, the market wanted engineers, people to build the systems. Now the systems are built. The market wants pilots. They want the person who can sit in the cockpit, monitor the automation, and take the controls when the turbulence hits. That transition, from being the person who makes to the person who guarantees, is the single most profitable move you can make in 2026. But there's a specific reason this shift is happening so violently right now. There's a wild card variable that has the C-suite losing sleep, and it's the exact thing you can use to secure your future. There's a concept you need to understand if you want to stay ahead. The hallucination tax in 2024 alone Global financial losses tied specifically to AI errors and autonomous hallucinations hit 67 times $4 billion. That is a massive, invisible drain on the global economy. I've seen reports showing that even high-stakes legal tools, the kind of software that costs thousands of dollars a month, have a hallucination rate between 17% and 33%. Imagine a lawyer or a doctor relying on a tool that is wrong 1/3 of the time. It's a liability nightmare. Now, this is the part that changes everything for you. Because of this liability, there is now a 56% wage premium for workers who can provide what we call contextual intuition. Companies are desperate for people who can spot a hallucination before it hits the bottom line. They are paying a trust premium. When I first looked at this data, it changed how I think about career security. We used to think that being specialized in a niche technical skill was the safest bet. But in 2026, the safest bet is being the person the company trusts to hold the shield. 47% of enterprise AI users have admitted to making at least one major business decision based on inaccurate AI content. They've been burned. And once a company gets burned, they stop looking for the person who is fast and start looking for the person who is right. The gap between the executor and the oracle is widening every single day. The person who just hits generate is replaceable. The person who knows why the generation is wrong and how to fix it is indispensable. So how do you actually bridge that gap? How do you go from being another filtered out resume to being the trusted filter the company needs? I want to give you a concrete blueprint. You don't need to go back to school for a 4-year degree. You don't need to become a data scientist. What you need is to change the signal you're sending to the market first. Move from keywords to proof of judgment. Stop listing what you can do and start showing what you've caught. When you talk to recruiters, don't say, "I use AI to be 30% more productive." Say, "I've developed a framework for auditing AI outputs that saved my last team 4 hours of fact-checking a week," that moves you from a cost center to a risk mitigator. Second, embrace the human-in-the-loop framework. Right now, the average knowledge worker spends about 4.3 hours every single week just fact-checking AI. That costs corporations over $14,000 per employee every year. If you can walk into an interview and show that you have a system for reducing that hallucination cost, you've just paid for your own salary before you've even started. And finally, change your identity from the executor to the reliable filter. In your resume, in your LinkedIn, in your conversations, lead with your ability to guarantee results in an automated world. This isn't easy. It requires you to step up and take more responsibility, not less. But the people who figure this out, they aren't just surviving the AI revolution. They're the ones leading it. They're the ones getting the callbacks and the salary bumps, while everyone else is still trying to figure out why their perfect resume isn't working. The market isn't getting harder. It's just getting more specific. It's looking for the human in the machine. And now that you know the rules, you have the cheat code to win. You've got this. I'll see you in the next one.